Here it is.
Streaming 24/7.
24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika nakupenda sana.
Africa, nakupenda sana, go Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, when you hear that song, you know you came to the right place. This is the African experience with me, Dr. Ngwenya. I'm not alone. I'm with my co-host, Mandla Aventina Wakamabunda. Welcome, welcome to the African experience. Mandla, good evening, my sister. Mandla Aventina Wakamabunda. Mandla, can you hear me? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are talking anything and everything around gender equality. I know in most cases, when we hear the issues of gender, we associate it with women. We find women who are championing that. But wow, we have a beautiful, beautiful soul tonight. And we want to demonstrate that, gender is not about women. Gender is an issue that both men and women can be able to champion. Mandla, are you there, my sister?
Good evening, Doc. I'm right here and I'm so excited to hear about Gender Commission and how a man is behind this. It's like a mouthpiece of the commission. That will be an interesting chat. So, ladies and gentlemen, do join us today as we talk to our guest and we learn more. You know, the vision is always that we are trying to inspire a Black child of an African child. So join us as we go through the show today. Thank you, Doc.
Wow, thank you so much. And I'm sure people are waiting to hear who is this, person that we are talking about. Without any further ado, we want to introduce our guest for tonight. His name is Mr. Javu Baloyi. Mr. Javu Baloyi, welcome to the African Experience Show.
Good evening, Dr. Slami, and good evening, Mandla. Thanks for having me here as a representative of myself and the Commission for Gender Equality.
Wow. Just before the show, I know a lot of people were also asking, we didn't even know that the Commission for Gender Equality exists. I think it is a right platform where we can unpack that. So what we normally do on the show, before we even talk about your work, we want to talk about you as a person. Who is Javu Baloyi in a nutshell?
Javu Baloyi is someone, it's a man of 48 years old who was born in Chilizini, Venda. My mother, when she gave birth to me, she was still staying in a place called Davana. They later got married with my father, the man who did the damage on her. We went to stay in a village called Shimausa, next to Amapale in the Hlanganani area. Now it's under Mopani. So I went to school there. The primary education, I did it there. And Shimausa called Pembelan School. I went to school before my actual age. My father was a teacher in the village, in the high school. So I went there in the form of playing. So I was always the youngest in the class. When I passed matric, I was 17. So, and mostly we used to go with people who were mature by then. So I went to University of Venda. I turned 18 at the University of Venda. I did my first degree there. After that, I went to University of Pretoria. I did my honors and masters and other qualifications from various associations. I've got even diplomas with communications and media studies, as you can see my life. In fact, the job that I do, says Dr. Thamen Mandla and viewers and listeners at home, it chose me. In fact, I started working as a public relations officer at the University of Venda for a team called FC Zurich, where Randu Octopus became one of the PR after me. So, and even at University of Pretoria, I was involved in a lot of activities. Back home, I was involved in a lot of activities. So as the interview progressed, I'll reveal more about myself. But basically, I'm a father with 2 boys and 3 girls. I'm married to a lady called Innocent Ngoveni. So we church people, but the gender aspect of it at times creeps in because I want to be gender activist even at home, whereas it's practically impossible.
That is really, really a mouthful. We can't wait, to hear all about your journey and how you're actually juggling these things. Like I said, in my introductions, that normally when we hear about gender, we always associate it with women. And sometimes it's very difficult for people to imagine a man who's actually a gender activist. And we'll unpack that. Man, this is a guy who's actually coming from Kashimausa. Wow, wow, wow. We feel so honored,
This,
to have you on the show.
for me, it's quite interesting because honestly, when we look at cultural norm and how gender is viewed in different cultures, it's amazing. I'm trying to think, what type of a character is this guy who is coming from a village with typical norms as to gender relations? What type of a personality does he have for him to say, no, actually, I will become an activist for gender issues. I'm going for the gender commission. Now, what inspired you to go that route, Mr. Baloyi?
Thank you, Mandla, for that question. I'm a joker in a pack. Ask Dr. Shami, wherever I am, people are laughing. Regardless of age, regardless of nationality, everyone else is my friend. When we go shopping with Madam, we tend to um, not at times look at the other side. I have to wear a hat for people not to stop me because it disturbs her, it disturbs the patterns, it disturbs everything else. So what do you then do? I've got friends all over. I was a joker, and Mandla, I was not interviewed for this position. For your information, you'll be surprised. I joined the commission as a researcher. I was a provincial manager. While sitting, the big bosses came from Braamfontein. I was working in Pretoria. They came, they said, they saw my writing. They said, look, we want you to be the spokesperson. I said, give me a week to pray, to consult. That's the first thing because I'm a Christian. I said, to pray, to consult people, friends, and colleagues, and everyone else where I'm ready for this post. They said, yes, you don't have communication, but you are a chatterbox and you have got that humility. You write very well, and you are good with people. And we have seen when you are here, the people outside here at Hatfield. We're in Hatfield next to University of Pretoria, Dr. Ngwenya. Hatfield, somewhere there where there's the spare now, somewhere there. And
Yes.
people on Friday, the guys who happen to assist us with car parking outside. Every Friday they will be wearing different t-shirt of the commission. I gave them four. They were something like 18. I printed t-shirt for them only to profile the CGE, which is the Commission on Gender Equality. Out of the blue, I was asked to write speeches for the then chairperson. You might know her. Some of you, Nomboniso Gaza. She liked what she saw and she said, we can do something with this guy. Then they sent me to vets and I became a spokesperson. It was difficult when I started because the narrative, Mandla, was gender is for women. It was difficult. I had to defend myself, but there was a turning point in history, just like everyone else, when there were scandals where I stood my ground and I defended the commission. I advised them. They said, "Where did you do communication?" I said, "I study a lot. I've got so plenty of degrees and diplomas and certificates. The only thing that I need to do, Dr. Ngwenya, next is to do my PhD, and I've been registered this year." So I did a lot of things. I defended the commission with all that I got, and I should think I was at the right time, at the right place. It was God as doing that. I became a spokesperson, and I helped to profile the institution's image. There were a lot of challenges. They would call on me, and at times I remember one day I was on the way. I was almost at Mudimula, Dr. Ngwenya. There was a scandal of Zelinzima Vavi. They said, we can't talk. we want you to come back, make a U-turn. We'll see, we'll fly you to Polokwane, we'll get a courtesy car for you to go home because we understand you have to go to the funeral the following day. Say, come back. It was on a Friday. So I went home and I did what I had to do. I went back to Pretoria and we did what we had to do. Sorry, colleagues, my granddaughter is disturbing me here.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay, let's
It's
continue.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She wants to
she
see
can
herself
come.
always when it happens like this when I'm at home.
Okay.
So I became a spokesperson in that way, Manda. No. I became a spokesperson in that fashion, and I have established a resume. And I was fortunate to be capacitated by Dr. Ngoya one day, Mandla, in one of the strategic plan. It's the only strategic plan where she was involved, an annual performance plan where we got a clean audit. I always tell her when we walking and hiking, Dr. Ngoya, that you were the gift, the gift of the givers, because we have never achieved a clean audit per se. We just unqualified audit with some issues of emphasis. But that's how I am. I've been a spokesperson. I represent the commission in various platforms. I debate. I write opinion pieces. I present. I've met who's who of South Africa, even some of the African leaders in my capacity. But I remain grounded because of where I'm coming from. And for your information, Mandla, this soul doesn't drink and smoke. Only does it to suffer with the hiking with Dr. Ngoye and others and my good friend Mashilwani. So yeah, go to church with my wife. We pray every day. So yeah, my spokespersonship at times is foregrounded in my wife because she's not a chatterbox like me. She said something. She said, and one day I did something wrong at the house. She said, I'm not going to listen to you because what you did the other day, it's not who you claim to be. These are some of the things that, but you need to also, you'll get the body blows from society. You need to remain grounded and remain focused on what you do, because at the end of the day, it's about gender equality. It's about the role that women played and the lack of men being there and the absent fatherism and all those things that, we need to make sure that, are dealt with. And when I go back home in Mausa, it's a problem because they will say these men would defend women. In funerals, they will even make me to stand up and parties to say, yes, but Javu, all those things. The punchline would say, this is the man who defends women more than men. He can even go on a fasting for a woman, but the man, when he's beaten, it will be wishy-washy. It won't be going there, and that's not the narrative. But we go on.
Hold it there.
It's not a narrative. I defend men more than women, in particular, because we have seen men committing suicide. We have seen men doing a lot of things. But the bottom line, we need to protect the girl child, and the future is black, and the future is African, and the future is a woman. That's in a nutshell who I am and the position that I do and the Commission for Gender Equality.
Wow. I like it when you continuously say that you're a chatterbox, and it comes with the kind of job that you are doing. Wow.
Yes.
It is a mouthful, and we will unpack a little bit because I know we're talking about this Commission of Gender Equality, and you are rightfully so. I was fortunate to have done, facilitated a strategic session with you guys. But a lot of people don't know about this commission. I would like you to take us through what it is all about. But before you do that, we have to take a very short commercial break. When we come back, we want you to tell us what is this Commission for Gender Equality, and then we'll have a follow-up to say what does it mean to be a spokesperson for this commission. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue to have a chat with Mr. Javu Baloyi. Let's take a commercial break.
Are you ready for the ultimate dietary powerhouse? Look no further than Masana Dietitian's Nutro Boost. Our scientifically formulated low GI food is designed to give you the boost you need to fuel your body and reach your health goals. With NutriBoost, you have the flexibility to enjoy it as a high-fiber cereal or a satisfying shake. Simply mix it with water and indulge in the mouth-watering flavors that we have to offer. But that's not all. NutriBoost is packed with essential nutrients that are beneficial for your overall well-being. Enriched with 20 immune-boosting vitamins and minerals, it's a convenient and effective way to support your immune system. And here's the best part. NutriBoost is gluten-free, egg-free, and high in omega-3, making it suitable for those with dietary restrictions or allergies. Need an energy boost? NutriBoost has you covered. It's high in energy and protein, providing you with the fuel you need to power through your day. Whether it's a busy morning or an intense workout session, say goodbye to midday slumps and hello to sustained energy with NutriBoost. Try it today and experience the difference. For orders or to become a distributor, contact us on the following details.
Mandla,
Aventina Wakama. Hello, Doc, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I was welcoming our audience back to the show after that short the short break, and I'm saying we are still here. We are still the African experience, and we are really talking to a self-proclaimed chatterbox today. We are talking to a champion of women's rights. We are talking about an advocate for everything women. He says the future is female. And I say Wumandla to that. We are talking to none other than Mr. Javu Baloyi. He is the spokesperson of the Gender Commission. Now, for people who don't know what the Gender Commission is about, can you break it down for us, Mr. Baloyi, so that everyone is on the same page with us when we're talking Gender Commission?
Thank you, Mandla, for that question. The Gender Commission is one of the Chapter 9 institutions of the South African Republic. When you open the Constitution, you go to Chapter 9. We are there. We are governed by the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa and something called the CG Act 39 of 1996 as amended. We espouse to protect the rights of individuals, more especially including the LGBTQIA plus community, and everyone, the most vulnerable people, the persons with disability, and everyone, but the elderly, the aged, and everything that is there in South Africa. We do not look at. We are not governed. Some people think that we must use the Bible's scripture to say that we're against people of different genders. Like now with defending Caster Semenya, they will say why the commission is doing that. It's within our mandate, and we must do that without prejudice. We must do that without bias. Our system should be fair. Mandla, you recall some of the work of the commission. I'll give you how I define the commission mostly to people. There was an issue of kingship, of chieftaincy in Kangwamitwa village, whereby Manana Philia was not supposed to be given the chieftaincy. The commission fought for her from Nkonko magistrate until Supreme Court. We went to the Constitutional Court. We were losing the case and we won it on the basis of gender at the Constitutional Court. We were there, even myself, I was there 2008 or 2009 when she was installed. That's some of the things. People who are sexual abuse, when they don't get justice from the police, they come to the Commission for Gender Equality. Like the Gyan Police Station, we work very well with them. We assist a lot of people. They come at the Commission. We are not the first responder, but there are sort of cases like now, I can tell you, the breaking case of the Venda chieftaincy and the kingship of Masindi and the royal family. We are amicus. Amicus means we are friends of the court. We have helped also more than 48 women, Mandla and Dr. Ngwenya, who were forcefully sterilized because of their HIV status to win the cases against the Department of Health. So those are some of the things that the commission does. We are the least funded commission amongst all the 6 commissions. We have got the Public Protector, Auditor General, Independent Electoral Commission, the commission with a long name, CRL Commission, the Financial and Fiscal Board, and us as a commission for the PENSALB, which looks at languages. However, the commission looks at the gendered aspect of things, whereby a woman could be violated, their rights, women empowerment in the workplace. Now we have got powers, Mandla and listeners, to subpoena. One subpoena the office of the president. We subpoenaed even the vice chancellors to come and account about the state of gender-based violence and sexual abuse in residence, sex for marks and other things. They're coming to us. You might find that when you check it, even on our website, you'll see a lot of statements that are being written and a lot of work that are being done. Now we're looking at the issues of learner pregnancy, not a teenage pregnancy, but learner pregnancy, whereby a girl of 10 years, Dr. Ngwenya, is giving birth as I speak to you now. Last year and the year before, 933 kids below the age of 16 around Gauteng gave birth, and we get involved as a commission. There are a lot of cases that where women at times, it's about at UNISA, there was sexual harassment case where we help a woman to get 3 million at UNISA. At Brandthornton, there was case and cases in around Hamaskal about the chieftaincy. We're waiting with them, Eastern Cape. We even went outside Guyana, 14B, to look at the issues of women whose lands were taken. Meanwhile, they were farming. You see that area, Singa, Rising A or something. So those women were not compensated. We got involved as a commission for gender equality. So there are a lot of cases, and we went to Kruger National Park to teach and also educate and build capacity for those people working at Kruger about harassment that they were suffering there. You might even heard the scandals of the Minister of Finance also. Those are some of the things that we dealt with. There are a lot of cases of even politicians, our current Deputy Minister of Finance, Dr. David Masondo. His case was before the commission, and I've been cited before the courts as one of those people who defended him by the lady who is involved. There was a lady who some of you might even be aware, who went to the union building and dressed herself and accused a guy that, he was violating her, only to find that it was not true. And then that lady was so angry at us. So some of them, it's cases whereby some report rape. Yes, it's rape. Some also, it's because of the relationship that is soured. We talk about sexual harassment, bullying, and intimidation in the workplace. Those are some of the things that now we're looking at the issue of the boy child. What is it that we need to do? Because we diminish the boy child. We say us as men, we're trash. Yes, I agree, we're trash, because some of my friends might be doing something untoward. They might be beating their partners or their kids and maltreating them. So those are some of the things we don't do. Mandla, we don't do a girl child to work. We do take a child to work because we want to make sure that we build capacity for both the boy child and the girl child. And also, we teach these kids about sex, sexual orientation, and other things as a commission, because some of them, you find that, like Dr. Tami has got a wonderful daughter. How do then that I relate to your daughter? How does his brother relate to my kids? So how do we then, so that, even when there's something going on, they will able to talk to us to say, Papa, or tell Dr. Ngwenya, Uncle Javu did not touch me very well. And we deal with it there and there before it's escalated, because every man, what we believe in the commission is a potential rapist. And how is that? It's that so? It's because most of the people that are being violated, it's because of a family member or someone that they know. It cannot be a stranger from a distance, mostly. And unlike now, presently, you might find our brothers from Mozambique, Zimbabwe, who are very brutal in what they do to women. But normally in family situation, you'll find that Dr. Ngwenya, I abuse your daughter. They'll say, we'll discuss with it. Javu will lose his job and stuff like that. And that's what gets me cringing, because these kids, their future the future is deferred, and they don't have a future. They go to SASA, and we blame them for standing there. Those are some of the things that the commission that there are plenty of things. Now we are even trying to understand from the women who are being incarcerated. What is it that, the mindset, the mental fatigue? And we also want to understand, in Eastern Cape and KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, and Free State, not so much in our area, there's this thing called Kungena Ukutwala. It's so rife that kids of 10 years, of 12 years are being married off to men of my age. And imagine, and it constitutes statutory rape. Also, what we have done now, we have gone to the side of the police and the justice. What is it that they're doing? The statistics are very high. Every month, every three quarter, 10,000 and more, 10,000 and more. And they said we're going down. You cannot be saying we're going down when the statistics are going. So we have subpoenaed them. We have support is and make sure that we understand the DNA test that they're talking about. It is our involvement as a commission. Hence, you find the numbers at zero now.
Yeah.
Because all these police commissioners are brought to the Commission for Gender Equality to say, what is it that you are doing? And some of the cases where women are reporting them and they're not dealt with, we get involved. And also we hold government and private sector accountable as a commission. So those are some of the things in a nutshell, Manda, that we do as a commission. There's a lot, but we're underfunded. We have got a budget of less than 100 million, equivalent to the royal family in KwaZulu-Natal. Imagine the royal family has got the same budget with us, but we have to look at the whole country and making sure that women are not trampled upon in the whole country. I have gone to Limpopo myself, throughout the whole country, talking to women and men, and also leading the engagement with the commissioners board of who are called board of directors and others. So that's what I do, and it's no longer a work, Dr. Ngwenya. It's a passion for me. It's a pity that I need to earn a living. That's what I do, and everywhere I go, people will stop me. Even in church, I've presented to EPCSA, the whole church, throughout to say. And I do this without payment when I do it for my church. But outside, you have to call me through the commission. But even at my church, they call me through the commission. But I do that with diligence so that it starts from the church, because the church is where there's a lot of abuses, there's a lot of intimidation, there's a lot of bullying. Younger kids are no longer going to church because of what us men are doing, the way we look at them, the perverse nature of things.
Mr. Baloyi, you mentioned a very critical point for me. You mentioned an issue about a boy child. Personally, I believe that we have empowered a girl child so much that the boy child cannot help but be resentful of this empowered individual who has such a huge gap between them and this girl child. And another thing that we also maybe touched on a bit, it's about the the heroes or action for these boy children so that they have some they look up to. In our cultures, really, in our society, a lot of the times it's the women empowerment programs that are flying all over, and the boy child, like you rightfully said, are being neglected. So that for me is very critical. We should also embrace the boy child as well. Doc, it's a mouthful, honestly, and I think we are not even cracking the top of this thing.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you can feel the passion from how he speaks. But there's one thing that I also feel that you can see that we are talking to a spokesperson. I'm sure in the when he speaks on radio and all that, the time is so short, so you have to speak so fast so that you can actually cover a lot.
Yes.
Maybe let me just speak on this. Mr. Baloyi, on this show, we always ask our guests, to pick the theme that they would like us to elaborate. You chose the theme that says gender equality will be achieved in our lifetime. Tell us a little bit more about why you believe that the gender equality will be achieved in our lifetime, and what is it that we need to do in order to realize that.
Thank you, Dr. Ngwenya. And has been my wish and aspiration and desire throughout. I believe as a country, we are missing a very opportune moment within life orientation. Every child goes to a school before a certain age. Every child goes to ECD. And life orientation offers us a platform for us to inculcate the culture of understanding, the culture of these kids understanding what is it. It's all about gender equality. Because Dr. Ngwenya, you and I, as parents, we might not be talking to a boy child or a girl child at the age of 6 or at the age of 10, thinking that, we're waiting for them to be 14 and 16. By that time, we've bought them smartphone. They know about sex and sexual orientation, orientation. They know everything about sex. They know about it's no longer about when we're growing up, where do you get the child? They said from the dam. They know everything about the human being and the physiology of a woman and a man. So that's where I believe we're missing the point. When these kids go to circumcision schools, initiation schools in the Eastern Cape, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, that's where we're supposed to take the Constitution and take it there to say, this is the Bill of Rights. This is what your rights it's supposed to be. It ends there. It begins here. In the church, we need also to bring experts to talk about gender equality. I hear Pastor Strike, I hear other pastors like Woma Luman and other pastors advocating the issues of equality and equality within the church. Churches also supposed to have women pastors and also that are given a stage and a platform to speak. Women shouldn't be seen, but should be heard also, just like justice. That's where I believe gender equality can be achieved in our lifetime. We might lose it because people can go astray. We have got the moral decay society, but the bare minimum, Dr. Ngwenya and Manda, we can do our best to make sure that every child, when they go to high school, they know about gender equality, they know about human rights, they know about gender rights, our human rights, they know about our South African Constitution, they know about how to engage in a holistically understanding that, where is the limitation of my uncle? Because even my granddaughter who's sitting with me here, always most of people might see I'm always with her. When she goes to, she say, Papa, I want to potty. She calls me Papa. I do not go where she potties. I stand outside. When she's done, I said, I will ask her, Nene, are you done? That's where it starts. It starts with a small thing. I always ask her, when mommy's bathing you, I don't have to see you naked. You must close the door with the mommy. And she does that. She will never come to me when I go to the bathroom inside the house. She will stand far away because it's the little things that we can do, Dr. Ngwenya, without even using money. How we talk. Kids, you know what? When mostly it's women who are advancing the patriarchal mentality, hence we don't achieve this, Amanda. I'll tell you why. Now she's carrying a pink balloon. You can see it. When a boy child is born, you buy blue. When a girl child is born, you buy pink. You buy no. Shh, don't kill me here. When you buy pink. Then you are determining and defining the gender roles in society. You are saying the other one you are weak, the other one you are strong. The other one you can do this in the kitchen, the other one you cannot do. And now it's baby revealing ceremonies. It's a girl, it's a boy. You buy those, you don't buy gender inclusive clothes. And also, when I come back from work, even my wife can say, hey, babes, I don't want to see you in the kitchen. Even when you are with friends, we'll do everything else. And that also perpetuates the stereotypes. So if we can do that together, we wash dishes together, we clean together, it inculcates the culture to the younger ones if we have them in the house to say, I see my father and I always tell my friends when I present Dr. Ngwenya, none of my daughters and my son will ever abuse because the way they talk to me, they're so open. If they've done something wrong, I talk to them. When I've done something wrong, they'll talk to me and say, no, here you were wrong. You shouldn't have spoken to mommy like this. And I'll go and apologize. If they were wrong, they did not understand. That's where it starts from the home. Mostly we have got households whereby we have got this. In our church, EPCA in Pelindaba, we try to bring boys who are from single household and talk to them about their body, their physiology. Hence, I'm saying gender equality can be achieved. It's the will and the drive and the passion that is there, and hoping and praying that we turn the corner and turn the tide. If we can get 2 boys and get men like myself and others, and like your brother Shibubu, whom it's a just. And I some people, when he said I play netball, they didn't understand. They said, "Are you playing netball?" Yes, I did. That's playing netball. And what's wrong with that? They said, "That is for girls." I said, "Who said for girls? Who defined it for girls?" Because when I was in primary, some of us we played netball with girls. So those are changing the mindset. Hence, I said we can realize gender equality in our lifetime.
Wow, Doc, this is so interesting. Mr. Baloyi, you mentioned going back to your theme, that gender equality will be achieved in our lifetime. That's a very bold theme. And that cannot happen as a one man objective. It will need comprehensive or holistic approach from all key stakeholders in the society. Now, number one, my question is who are the primary stakeholders and what is their different involvement in achieving this goal?
Sorry, Sis Mandla. My daughter Kanye was disturbing me about something
No,
urgent.
it's
I did
okay.
not hear that very well.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying you're going back to the theme, going back to the theme, Yaku, gender equality will be achieved in our lifetime. And I'm saying, given the circumstances that we are in now, that's a huge, huge, very ambitious objective. And I agree we can achieve that. Now, I want to know from you, who do you think are the critical stakeholders in us achieving that goal? And number two, what is their individual responsibilities in us working towards achieving the goal?
Number one, it's fathers. Fathers bear the greatest responsibilities. Some fathers, says Manda, are fathers by having given assisted a woman to be pregnant. They are present and absent within in the same time. Some of the fathers they don't even know the grades of their kids. That's number one. Number two is the pastors at the church. The pastors bear the greatest responsibility because we must center in the gender equality, center the role of the church. When the church was at the center of everything, everything was going well in society. There was no rape. The church was even providing food for the society. Number three, it is the traditional leaders. One of the reasons why we're struggling with gender equality in our country, when we try to advance women empowerment and say women have been at the receiving end for the longest of time, you'll find that there's something called traditional courts bill, says Manda, whereby in my village, a woman doesn't have a voice where I'm coming from. But the women are expected to go to those kangaroo courts where men adjudicate about them. If you are not married, it's worse. You can even in Pumalanga you lose your household. Also, we need to have legislation which is very enforceful. The various departments must make sure that they implement the legislation. Women supposed to be there, and also as a custodian of some values and morals, because I always tell people that when a woman prays, God listens to a woman. A prayer of woman is more powerful, but a father can say, I give you my blessing my son. It's a mother, it's also a stakeholder. A sister, it's a stakeholder. A mother, says Manda, you a father can die, a mother will never make kids go to bed hungry. She'll do whatever it takes to make sure that the kids are there. During those times when you're talking, a girl child and a mother, that inculcation of a certain values and principle suppose ought to be there. Those that are not degrading, objectifying, to say you prepare a girl child like it used to happen in the olden days for marriage. That's where we're supposed to achieve gender equality. And also society as a whole. It took, my father was a teacher, but one day I was let go from school because I was not feeling well. I was stopped by someone I was in high school, somebody stopped me by the street to say, you cannot go home, and I'm going to tell Menier. They used to call my father Menier. I said, no, I have got the paper. They said I must go home. I've got flu. I still remember one day I sat with that man and he's still alive. I said, what made you to stop me? Because you knew my father is working in the very same school. He said, it's possible, boys, you are naughty by nature. So that's what, I'm still close to that man even today, because I believe the values that he had then, he still has them. I still talk to him, very respectful man. So those are some, it takes a village to raise a child. The village, now it's when I can beat my wife now. The neighbors will say, we know those ones. We know that woman. They will even have a stereotypical mentality which are not there. So those are the things that we need to go back to the basis, Sasmanda. We must have Ubuntu and who are you? Because you must also pave the way for your kids, that when they go, they say, these are kids of Javu. We know them because of the humility and humbleness that it's embodied and embedded in them. So that's what I like. Even if you can see Shilombe doing something, I always share, because I know the mother, I know the family, I know how she's respectful and responsible that are doing so. It's also us when we're with Shilombe, say Shilombe, but that if that tune you can do this, with this you can do this. It's how we supposed to be as people. And it takes all of us to be stakeholders, but also we must shun those ones who are negative, because that those ones, Dr. Manda, Dr. Ngwenya, and Sis Manda, who are just negative. They will say something very bad about your kids, but their kids, they don't do anything else. Those are the people that you don't associate yourself. You can choose your peace and choose the environment, but those ones said, if you don't want to be, when their kids have done something else, they defend their kids. They don't take responsibility and accountability. Those are the people that I despise. I cringe when I look at them. Even when people defend themselves, now I'm not a rapist, now I'm not a woman beater, but they know. There's a scandal within our church, EPCSA now. People have been phoning me, pastors phoning me. What are you saying about this? I said, let's get information and deal with it. That's how being responsibility is, before we tarnish people's names and say something after us. Let's get the information, let's get to the bottom of it, and because we must uproot this within our church. I'm part of the church, I'm part of the Madodana guild. So how do we do it? Even men of our church, now we are going to sign a pledge in Pelinda because of my initiative to say we are signing 1,000 men march. I brought the church there, and I even declared that my church is here. That's how you play our role. It's all of us in our little corner. You might be quiet, you might not be a chatterbox like me, but play your role and play your role effectively.
Wow. What I'm hearing from this is that actually this change begins with me. It begins with everybody. Wow, Manda, I'm looking at the time. The time is flying tonight. And I'm like, yo, we are not even halfway through all the questions that we wanted to ask. So, Mr. Baloyi, there's something that we do on the show. So when we invite somebody, we Google them, we go on their social media platforms, we get pictures and all that. There are some pictures that we would like to share.
Yes.
And we'll ask you what was happening. We try to bundle the pictures a little bit. So DJ Messi, just get the pictures ready. But while she's actually doing that, I have one more question that I want to ask you. As a person, you spoke about you like, studying and all that. What has been some of the major highlights in your professional journey where you say, when you look at that, you say, wow, and something that I can brag about?
The major highlight, one of the major, is to present before the former president, Thabo Mbeki, around Tshwane, about gender issues. The other thing is to write an article on when you strike a woman, you strike a rock. The first article that I wrote with Mail and Guardian, and also going to the Parliament of South Africa. The first time I sat there, we're discussing about, there was a bill that was being discussed. I was with the lawyers, and the greatest of them all was to stand in podiums, defend the rights of Caster Semenya. Even most recently, not so long ago, in February, on the 9th of February, I was with Caster Semenya. I was a program director, and we're taking a case to Switzerland, appealing it to the grand chambers. That's some of the highlights. And also going to my village. It was one of the wonderful things. And also with my wife's foundation, where we, during my journey, because it links with my job, the Mobi Foundation, which my wife donates shoes, with our daughter, Kanye, and other people that we roped in. We donated shoes, sanitary pads. And people, when I said donate sanitary pads, I showed, they said, you as a man, said yes. That's the highlight of my thing. Seeing a person smile, Dr. Ngwenya, it's so surreal for me. Wherever I go, and more special when I'm with people whom we sit and they said, we never knew it's you who's speaking, because you're not like that. Those people, I said, which people? Those people who show off, because in my village, you might not even see me driving a car. So those are the highlight of the thing. The whole village knows that where I work. I believe you me, the three villages, Blank, Water, and Blue, Shimausa, they know where I work. I give advisory from a distance on issues. Even when there are cases of gender-based violence, they will phone me. And we even help in my village to have a police officer arrested for having raped the niece. So that's some of the highlight of the thing. I was not scared of what I did. I did the right thing. The person is no longer working now. in our villages
Wow.
there back home. So those are some of the things that we
Yeah.
do, and it's so I sleep peaceful at night. Though at times they will scare you. Those ones who are abusing women, they'll phone you 3 o'clock in the morning, and some politicians will phone you when they realize they are in the wrong. But I say God is it's like I pray the Psalm of David all the time.
Mm, mm. Wow, zero tolerance, to actually gender-based violence. This is what I can hear. Mandla, I think we can go on because, we are charged. I know we're supposed to take a commercial break, but I think let's just continue. We are
Yeah.
charged. DJ Messi, let's see some of the pictures that you managed to get, and then let Mr. Baloyi tell us what was happening. Okay. So let's see if we can see.
Okay. The
Okay.
first one on the
Mm,
left with my wife, Innocent. My younger sister was graduating at the one, we are six at home, she's number five. I basically sent her to help her to go back to school. The one where we are wearing a tuxedo with my wife, Innocent, again, we were we were at my best friend Mashilwani, Sidi Mashilwani. It was his anniversary, 40th anniversary. The one on top there, where she's sitting down wearing pink, we were at the anniversary at the unveiling of his mother's tombstone. The one down there was a wedding on where I'm wearing a bow tie. There was a wedding in
Yay.
somewhere in Randburg. We're invited. The yeah, someone, a friend of hers, whom they work together, invited. The one that she's carrying my grandson. I also have got a grandson. This is the day where I got to be a fully fledged Mdodana, 3 October 2021.
Wow. Wow. Man. Okay. Let's see some more pictures. You're really a family man.
The one there you see me, I went to a school, it's called Waminga, whereby we were handing shoes. We did not give them at the venue because we realized there could be stampede. We had selected 26 schools. It was 20 May 2023 last year at the Mboleka Stadium. And where I'm wearing a hat with after I walk, the guy I'm standing with, it's from Edward Patudi. It's a principal from Edward Padut. I went with him at Univen. On top there, it was my wife giving a sort of uh, with the people from Department of Environmental Affairs who donated shoes, and the one down there, it's my friend again. It's a principal. I just got to know 2 weeks before this event. It's a principal of Edward Patudi down there with the kids. We did not hand the shoes on the day. I drove, I asked permission from work. I drove the whole week handing over the shoes and sanitary paper. Some of the goodies were given there because they were well-managed crowd, but we just worried about stampede. Remember, when things are happening in townships, everyone comes, and we saw elderly people coming to ask for school shoes for their granddaughters and grandson, and we gave them. Shem. We make sure that we gave them, and we went back to the people who were working there. So this is what happened on the day. So my wife, as a forebearer of the Moby Grace Foundation, she was the one on the lead.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Interesting,
Man.
interesting,
Okay.
interesting. You are an advocate for human rights, not even women's rights only. So you look for injustice and you're there. You look for disadvantaged communities, you're there. You look for people who are displaced, you are there. For me, this is big. And I think if we can, if it's just a quarter of what we are saying, and a doc today, the hour is just too little. We have so many things to say. Because now I'm thinking now, there must be someone out there who's sitting at home, maybe Ilekama Shobze, who knows, and thinking, wow, I didn't know that you can turn passion for fighting for human rights into a profession. Now, what steps would that person need to take for them to be in a position like a spokesperson, yeah, gender commission?
Like I've said earlier on, Sesman, that mine it was a shellac and God's doing, being at the right place at the right time. But a person must study communication to start with. You must study communication or media studies. You must be advanced in social media technologies, savvy in those things. you must well spoken, and also you must be somebody who writes and also have passion for people and passion for to write and speak and stand in for us throughout the country and every internationally. That's something that you do, but you can come through the ranks, join the commission. We can take you through the wings. We are going to advertise for position very shortly. There are going to be 3 positions. We've got interns. We do to take interns, and the good things that there's one of these people who speaks Xitsonga. She's from Kabokweni. I was so happy. I was so impressed with it. I did not know her, but I was so impressed with her when we take her on. And then she spoke very well. She was articulate. So those are some of the, and also get mentorship. And also, it's not difficult to talk to me. My email address is there. My WhatsApp is there. My phone number is there online, Javu Baloyi with a V. You can get hold of me and talk to me and say, what is it that I've even helped people to do their assignment in gender studies. Some have got PhDs now, yet I don't have a PhD. And they'll even come say, thank you. And even now I'm helping a lady she's doing a PhD. I'm going through here with a journey. She's asking, why don't you study now? I said, no, time was not right. I'm going to do it. So those are some of the things, even in rural areas. We help with career guidance. I've got a team of people from Shimausa village, Blankwater, Noblohoek, who are accountant, engineers, people who they've got everything. Lawyers. There's one called Gohlola here. She says, I love my life. She once sponsored us. Dr. Ngwenya knows her. We send people to her to help, and she does things at times pro bono. They said you are who you are surrounded yourself with. The betterment of self begins with you. But the people around you, I should think I sent something to Dr. Ngwenya. She'll send something to me, will escalate to someone else. We have got a network of great people around us who can help someone else. So becoming a spokesman, not only for the commission, but even government departments, private sector, you need to study communication, you need to study media, you need to be au fait with issues, the current affairs, you need to know what you're saying, because imagine you are a spokesperson, you're sitting here, you're saying vulgar things to the platform and the viewers at home. Tomorrow they will say, Dr. Ngwenya, don't bring that Shangan boy back here, because whatever he said, it was insulting, it was disrespectful. So you need to know who you are and also how to speak to people in various platforms. So that's how you can become a spokesperson.
Wow. But in this case, it's not just the spokesperson. I reckon that the person also need to understand, these gender issues.
Yes.
You were sharing a little bit about the constitution and all that and whatnot. So maybe just a question again. I think we might have asked it at the beginning. How do people see you? Because in most cases, like we say, gender issues are spearheaded by women.
Yes.
But now we have this man who's so passionate. The passion is written all over you. The way you speak, you can see that it's not something that you are doing to tick the box, but you are really, it's something that is deep. How do people, receive you?
I've been well received. Some of the ministers will say when we meet with them, they defend, more especially from the Eastern Cape, it defends women. And until the narrative change, when we release a book, a study called When Relations Disentangle, Dr. Ngwenya, you can read that one. It's on a website. I can even send it to you via even and even people want to. When we started talking about men who are being abused, men who are dying, when I spoke very harsh about police officers who are not helping men, people started sitting down and take note that this man doesn't defend women, he defends the rights of individuals. So people have taken to me, there are giants before me, there are commissioners who were men. You might know Mbuyiselo Bota, Bafana Kumalo, there was Sidiko Rakolot and others that are there. Even I take from Oliver Tambo also, he was a gender activist. Even President Mandela was a gender activist. Even the current president, he understands issues of gender very well, as much as he doesn't speak about them that much. Even the Premier of Gauteng, he speaks about gender. I will meet with him in various platforms. When they are abuse in schools, they will call the commission. Men have taken to me to say, this is an epitome of something good in society. We need men like Javu to carry the message. And when it comes from a man, men sit down and listen. Even in church, when I stand up on Sunday, when I stood up and talked about gender-based violence, they sat down, they were quiet, more than 50 men in the church. I said, guys, it is in our hands to change the narrative. And they understood. I said, we have got a case against your church. I'm no longer a member of church now, but we have got a case against church because of this abuse. And it's so disappointing because it's being associated with me wherever I go. Your church is abusive. Your church does this. So men have taken to me, liking to me, but some I can realize some are not comfortable around me. When they start talking, if you have got a girlfriend and I'm there and they know what I stand for, emotional abuse, financial abuse of women, they know. They cannot discuss it with me. I've cut off some colleagues who were abusive towards their wives. I've threatened one that I'm going to report him to the police if the wife can report it. And I've caused one to separate because that guy was a deadbeat dad. He was beating his wife. So those are some of the things that you do. It's difficult. People might say I've separated people, but abuse is abuse. If a woman who died, they were saying you have got blood in your hands. Now both of them are happy. They've got new partners, and the woman cannot stop thanking me the journey that she has taken because of what I stood for. Even myself, I've divorced. I was in a very difficult situation before until I met Innocent, and life changed to the. That's why I'm even doing Dr. Ngwenya. You were surprised when you saw me the other day. I'm even going because of the love. So when you are loved, you grow. And when you appreciate it, you grow as a man. So that's the message I teach other men, that do not stay in a loveless marriage. Do not stay where you're not appreciated. And equally so, if you're a woman, don't stay for the sake of the kids. Because the moment you wake up, it's too late. You'll go out. Libitala Musadi asumo bokhading. Libitala Musadi, it's natural death or something else happened, but not in the marriage, not where we abuse one another, where we say hateful things. Those are the things that I teach men and young boys.
Oh my goodness. You know what? It's more than a month. Katlele, we are talking to the real chatterbox today. You know what? It's in a beautiful definition of what that chatterbox is. I'm enjoying everything. It's so nice and refreshing talking to a man who understands the bigger picture of things. You know, someone who can boldly say, I do not align with being unfaithful. I do not align with a cheater. I do not align with a wife beater. It's very impressive to sit here and listen to hear you talk. I wish we could have more time to listen, and I wish you could have more platforms where you are particularly talking to the boy child, because really, honestly, we do have a problem. Sure, Doc, do you see the time? We have less than 2 minutes
I
left.
know.
And I still
I
feel
know.
like we need to talk more and more about this issue.
Yeah, I think we might have to invite him for part two of this because I'm not exhausted. All the questions that we have are not exhausted. But whoo, DJ Messi only gave us an hour. This is what we have the time for. Mr. Baloyi, in a very, very short moment, what is your parting shot
My parting
before they cut us
My
out? Yeah.
parting shot is to say thank you for you and Macy for being a consummate professional in communicating with me. What we need to do, we need to start from home, people. We need to stop using words like footsec to the kids. We need to listen to these kids more. We need to be there for them. We need to be supportive. We need to ensure that we start from home. We mustn't be seen outside to be like as we are holier than thou. Yet at home, the kids are afraid of us, particularly us men and women, also shouting to the girl child, making them, forcing them, not understanding their predicament. Let us learn to listen as people who are in this platform, listen more, open our ears, and then talk less, and then make kids at times do certain tasks that are gender oriented, so that you begin to understand that are these kids safe, will they do the right thing going forward. So those are some of the things that I will want to leave you. And also love yourself. As long as you don't love yourself, you will always have self-hate, you will hate others. And because also let go of the past mistakes that happen in your life, and just learn to love yourself, learn to be peaceful with yourself, and learn to encompass the new you. And you will see everything around you will feel like it's a whole new ball game together. So learn to love and learn to wish other people well, and learn to tell the next person, thank you, I'm sorry, and learn to appreciate the little that you are being given every day and the gift of life.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful way of ending the show. And Mandla, we have to start glowing. Thank you, and thank you to the listeners tonight, and thank you to DJ Messi. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the African experience, and this is what we had time for. Next week, same time, same place, we will be with you. God bless. And thank you so much, Mr. Baloyi,
Thank you very much.
for joining us.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.